Newcastle United 2, Nottingham Forest 0. A brilliant way to start the season. This is the review. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Toon Review YouTube channel. And it is the review. And finally, we get to start a season review with a win. And an absolutely dominating win at that. Controlled the game throughout against Nottingham Forest, who were second best throughout. We played really well. Very, very good performances. And, of course, we will come to the player ratings a bit later on in the show. But let us know what you guys think in the comments as well. Just one thing before we start. Martin Dubravka, Eddie Howe, I did a video on it earlier on. Eddie Howe seems like he's talking up like Mr. Dubravka may be leaving the club, Danielle.
Very upset about it. Everybody knows my feelings on Dubravka. I think he's a cracking keeper. He's had fantastic service for us, and I'd be very, very sad to see him go. However, I do understand where he's coming from. Pope's clearly number one. So in that kind of instance, I wouldn't blame him for moving on for his own career, but I'd miss him greatly.
Yeah, it's something that we addressed when Nick Pope signed Billy. It's all about who was going to be number one, and the way he spoke in that interview about Nick Pope, he saying he couldn't leave him out. He's a massive admirer, etc. Just says it all you need to know. Really, he is the number one.
Indeed, and he's got more to his game. He's got more tools in his toolkit than Martin. Let's be honest. He's quick off the line. He's better with the ball at his feet. His distribution is much better. And you can't keep two keepers the quality of those two. One's always going to be unhappy if they're not playing.
I agree.
Yeah, you just can't keep two keepers like that. No other team in the league has got two keepers the quality we've got.
Yeah.
So I expect Martin to leave before the end of the window. But he goes with all of our good wishes because he's been a fantastic goalkeeper for us, hasn't he?
He has. And it's strange, Alex. Everybody thought it was going to obviously be Carl Darlow leaving. He was linked with Middlesbrough, of course, and a couple of other clubs since the window's open. But it seems like he is going to play number two eventually once Martin Dubravka, does leave the club. And he leaves with great wishes from Newcastle United fans, if indeed he does go, doesn't he? I mean, it's not like he's leaving on any bad terms. But at his stage in his career, he also wants first-team football, which you can't really blame him for that.
Yeah, definitely. He's not. He's got to be playing football. He's a very, very good quality keeper, and it's a shame he had a poor preseason to a level. Few things he did wrong that kind of cemented Pope starting. If Dubravka possibly had a slightly better preseason, maybe he in his own mind might have thought there was more of a fighting chance of maybe playing more minutes. But I think the way that preseason went and Pope starting this first game, I think it's pretty clear. So it would have been nice if we could have maybe had both of them together for a season for just incredible depth.
Yeah.
Might not happen, but yeah, he's been amazing for us.
I mean, look, you talk about Dubravka there in pre-season. Obviously, we look back at the Mainz friendly. Yes, Trippier made an error as well, but you look at the speed in which Nick Pope comes off his line. There was a couple of instances yesterday. He didn't have a great deal to do, of course. Not really a blinding save to make. He came for a few crosses, gathered them up, but it was the speed off his line that impressed me. And Billy, I don't know whether it came through on the camera when you're watching, just where his starting position is. It's very, very different to Dubravka. He's way outside his box. He anticipates the long balls coming through, and he's out there in a flash. Whereas Dubravka, sometimes he's very hesitant about making decisions. Of course, last week he came off his line against Bilbao. He came off his line, stopped, went back, came again, and of course, when he came back for it, it was too late. It was a goal.
I think Nick Pope's concentration, as we saw yesterday for 90 minutes, was fantastic.
Yeah,
and it's something sometimes that's let Martin down. It's not been quite concentrating on what's going on. Doesn't read the game obviously as well as Nick does. And And it's just part of that's that bit in the toolbox that Martin doesn't have that Nick does have.
Mm-hmm.
We saw it when they banned back passing to the goalkeeper that you couldn't pick it up. A whole lot of goalkeepers went out of the game because they couldn't play with their feet.
Yeah, they did.
And now it's gone on another level now since then, where a goalkeeper's got to be a footballer. And
Absolutely.
Martin's a great goalkeeper, but he's not a good footballer, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Not at that
we'll
level
look at it. Yeah, we'll look at a few comments just before we get into it. Louis says, "Hi guys, it was great meeting you for the first time at the Forest game yesterday. Great performance, 3 points, and the view from level 7 was brill." Lee disagrees, saying the view from level 7 is like watching a game of Sabutio. It can be, definitely. He also said, "Great match yesterday to start. To finish, we dominated the match. We should have been a goal or two up at the break. But the main thing is, at least we got the job done in the second half to seal the 3 points." NUFC 1892, good evening. What a start to the Premier League season. With a bang, we should have been more ruthless in front of goal. But I'm happy with a 2-0 win. Let's get the season underway instead of waiting until Crimbo for the first win. Play like we did yesterday, and we will have one hell of a season. So start getting your passports ready for Europe. We are on our way. Get up. Julie, good evening. Of course, the usual there. By the way, at the start of this show tonight, we are 29 subscribers away from 13,000. So we've got almost 1,000 subscribers in a couple of weeks, which is incredible. So please do, if you're new to the channel or you know anybody who wants to be part of this family, click that subscribe button, free to do so. And maybe we'll hit it. Could be tonight or tomorrow, who knows? But it's there. It's within our grasp. But also keep your comments respectful. Disagree, but be polite. Of course, a lot of people will disagree on certain things. John says, "Evening all, only one game, but shall we try Fulham with an offer for Mitrovic?" I knew that was coming. I knew. Santosh, thank you very much for your $5 super chat, my man. He says, "I am happy with our result and also Villa's. Just because they signed a few players ahead of us, they were arrogant and cocky. This will put them in the place." Yes, we'll come on to Villa and, of course, Manchester United. I'm sure Danielle would like to just, say something sympathetic towards Manchester United today. Chipper says, "Saturday for me proved to trust the owners like I already do. We could have ended up paying 300 grand a week for Lingard and Henderson, and they were dreadful." I don't think Henderson didn't have a chance with the goals, to be fair, but Lingard, I mean, Alex, I think you put some stats up earlier on about Lingard, or you retweeted some anyway. I've seen some somewhere. That his contribution to the game was he was mainly zero for everything, which was hilarious.
And I've got him here, yeah. One shot blocked, none on or off target, no dribbles, one key pass, one cross, 0 out of 6 ground duels won. 0. That was Bruno and Joe just bullying him off the ball.
Well, we'll come on to those two magnificent gods of men very soon. Paul Andrews, thank you for becoming a new member. Welcome to the members club. And there was a couple of new members earlier on, but it flashed up way before the show, so it's taken them away. But if that was you, thank you very much. And of course, remember, if you do want to donate to the channel tonight during the show, you can hit that $sign at the bottom of the live comments, which will take you through that way. And I'd just like to say a massive, 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 massive shout out to Davey Boy Smith and Ed the Red Smith, who passed me an envelope yesterday with a contribution to the channel. I'd just like to say thank you. Incredible gesture that I received yesterday. So thank you guys. And yes, I got the note that was inside the envelope as well, and that will be sorted out for you. So thank you so much again. Absolutely incredible gesture it was. So thank you. Good evening, Brian. Hazard's in the house. Adrian. Pedro says, "Hi, Toon Review family. I hope you are all settled down after that fab game yesterday." Yes, I think Danielle's a bit sunstroked, but forgot to put the lotion on, didn't you?
Very unfortunate.
It was unfortunate.
Yes. But I'm feeling a bit wrecked today. I feel exhausted.
But I think everybody did after the match as well, didn't they? Because there was such a build-up and the atmosphere was incredible. And I think a lot of people did get we're building up and we're getting very excited very early on. And then after the match, it was just like, oh my God, it was like just a huge come down. But it was euphoria in that ground yesterday.
Just wait till we've got Tuesday nights and Saturday afternoons back.
Yeah, absolutely. Pedro says, "I tell you what, Bruno is a world-class player and we have him. What a star he's going to be." Majestic Pillow, evening everyone, still buzzing. George, good evening lads and lasses. Hope everyone is well and happy after yesterday's result. Harry says, top stuff yesterday. A player like that week in, week out, will be laughing. Not one single player who wore a Newcastle shirt was piss poor. It was incredible. That is the first time, I think, Billy, that in a long time we've watched a Newcastle United match, and that starting 11, not one of them was poor.
Every one of them had a superb game. Some more superb than others. We'll come on to that later. But I thought, in the main, they were leagues above the team we played against. Leagues above. Not just one league like it was last season. Actually, leagues above. Some of the play we played, the midfield, were absolutely outstanding, I've got to say. The three in midfield.
Yep.
So, had me purring. I've got to say.
Purring like a kitten. PD Prowlock says, I can't stop watching Fabian Schär's goal. Can't believe your boy Cody is joining the Scouts Mackems. Well, I've disowned him.
Yeah.
On loan, there's an option to buy as well. So
it's a very, very strange deal. It is a strange deal. I'll honestly, I don't understand.
It's because Wolves are moving to a back four, and Cody can't play in a back four.
And also, Everton have to be careful of FFP, I suppose. So
that doesn't explain why Everton is a player. Why would you go to them?
I don't know.
I don't think Everton can play a back four either. So that pretty much confirms they're going to play a back five for quite a while.
Which puts them up shit creek, to be honest. Pedro says Danielle must be over the moon with the way Man United played. Fabian Schär's rocket goal yesterday surely has to be up there as one of the goals for contender of the season. Absolute belter. It should be in goal of the month. Geordie Mick, thank you for your 199 super sticker, mate, and I hope you get well soon. You've had a rough time of it lately, buddy. With your accident and stuff like that, covered in bruises and obviously. But we hope that watching this show make you feel a bit better, buddy. So get well soon, and thank you again. Brandon says, come on, you mags, smashed Forest, now on to Brighton. Well, of course, we'll talk about Brighton later on in the week, of course, in the build-up to the game. That ain't going to be, that should be a cracker, actually, because Brighton, they look good, by the way. I mean, I know Man United are piss poor, but you know what it is? They look really good.
I'm not
scared.
Look really good. I'm not afraid.
No, I'm not afraid, but I think it'd be a great game of football. Normally when we've gone to Brighton, it's been, we've either been thumped or it's been a boring draw. But I think this time we've got two very, very good teams who are going to go at it. Good evening, Susan. Mrs. Toon Review in the house. Julie J's in the house. Trolls, good evening. Lee says hi all on this lovely evening. It is, and it's going to be a lovely week as well. Tom, good evening. Nice to see you yesterday, buddy. Hope you're well. Jordan's in the house. Good evening, Jordan. Gareth says, good evening, Toon Review family, mods, and everyone in the chat. Jordan says, Joe Linton, man of the match yesterday. Spike says, good evening, Toon Review family. Great game, full throttle from the start, 10 out of 10 for me. Bruno is different gravy. He's a world-class player. Well, he is a world-class player, so let's get into this. So there you go, a little bit of highlights there. And I have to say, Susan put that together brilliantly. So thank you to Susan for that. Brilliant goals. And Billy, I mean, that first goal, Forest for me came to play for a draw. I was under no illusion when that first half was going on that they were here for a draw. Alex will point out their very, very attacking corner a bit later. We've got a screenshot of... It's quite incredible, actually, when you see it, but it's unbelievable. But Billy, I mean, it needed something special to unlock Forest in the end, and boy, did it get something special.
It was a fantastic strike, but we've seen the same goal before, haven't we? I said it on commentary. That's exactly the same as what he did against Burnley. I thought Forest were really naive at the back, trying to play out and giving the ball away so many times, the back five, giving the ball away on so many occasions. And sooner or later, they were going to get punished for it. But it took something special to do it. I was critical of Henderson at first, getting beat in the near post. But when I watched it back from the other side, I didn't know I was getting near that. The pace he hit that ball up with a rocket.
I was behind that knee stand. No way.
No way.
Well, I was right behind it. The angle that I was sitting, Billy, was just to the right of the goal. So obviously, as soon as that left Fabian Schär's foot, I said that I was sort of hitting George on the shoulder in front of us and said, that's in. Yeah. And Henderson had no chance of getting that. It was just the power and accuracy that he hit that shot. But it's what Fabian Schär can do, Danielle. We know he's got that in his locker. And just it lifted everybody in the stadium, because I know me and Alex, we were talking at half time about just hoping that it wasn't one of those games that, dragged on, and Forest went and nicked it at the end. That's what we're used to. That's what we're used to happening when we watch Newcastle in previous years. Very different this year.
Absolutely. And I think, you know, like you said earlier, we're dominant throughout. And I thought we just couldn't put the chances away. And that was the frustration. I think half time I could hear a few people like, when you're on top of the game, you have to take those chances and you have to make them count. So I was getting a bit nervous, thinking, what happens if we've done all of this hard work and this togetherness for nothing? And then when Shaw put that ball in, wow, what a reaction. Like, I don't even remember the second it hit the back of the net. I just remember like the whole of the laser stand, literally, like it all lifted. Like, amazing, absolutely amazing moment. I'll never forget. But fantastic. What a start, and what a player Fabian Shaw is. It just came from like peeped out of nowhere and bang straight. They didn't even close him down. He was just standing there.
Well, they weren't expecting that with her. There's the Forest. I think Forest were along the lines of, fair enough, go on, try from there. and they did. Rolly Renner, thank you for welcome to the Members Club. I'm not sure if that's a renewal or a new membership, but thank you very much for your support on the channel, my friend. Alex, Fabian Shaw, he actually took quite a bad knock on his head earlier on in the game. Or it might have been after the goal, I'm not sure. But again, he just puts himself in danger. He just throws himself around. But it's so accomplished again yesterday, as was Dan Burn. There was a couple of times in the second half, it looked like Dan Burn was going to get burnt for pace, pardon the pun, but he didn't. He got the ball and then just spun on the ball and took it away. So accomplished. And actually, Botman's going to have a fight on to get into the team here.
Yeah, I mean, well, to be completely fair, I mean, Fabian Shaw is my favourite centre-back at the club. I've made no secret of that for a long time. I think he's vastly underrated in the league. I think he's brilliant because he can do that. He can control and set people free. He can score headers. He can score free kicks. And he's a very good defender. He's got long balls. He's very underrated. I think he's a brilliant centre-back. And Burn, covered well. I think he got fortunate that they couldn't string together any more attacks. I think if Forest had a little bit more control of the midfield, we'd have seen more runs at him, and he might have had a bit more work to do. But fortunately, it was a reasonable, manageable amount for him, and he was positioned properly for everything, and he did it correctly, and it was nice and safe and tidy. So, but we have seen him on occasion struggle with that. So, I mean, my prediction is the day we see him struggle with it and it causes a goal, Botman will be straight in. So that obviously what Howe's waiting for. So fingers crossed that day doesn't come though. Like with Bruno, we just kept winning, so Bruno couldn't get in the side. So fingers crossed. It's annoying for Botman, but if we keep winning, then who cares?
Yeah. Absolutely. Abdullah says, hello, guys. I'm Abdul from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Wanted to ask, what are the signings that we need in Newcastle? I mean, I'd still go a winger and a striker just to back us up. But I mean, I thought Miggy was brilliant yesterday. I thought he had a great game again. So I'm not too worried about it. But I just think for more, in depth, I would rather have another striker there and a winger, just for the depth. I mean, talking about Maddison, he played for Leicester City today. I don't think he was at the races though, to be honest. Maddison, I watched him very closely, and he wasn't running around the pitch like a blue-ass fly like I've seen Maddison do in many games. And I was just thinking to myself, I'm thinking, is he just deliberately not going in for challenges or hanging back just that little bit because maybe he's on the move?
He did get an assist, didn't he?
He did for the corner, yes, and he's in my fantasy team. I just thought I'd throw that in there. So I'm just expecting my points to roll on a little bit. Yeah. But I mean, I don't know what you guys think. I just think that, probably a right winger and striker still needed, Danielle.
I think striker's priority for me. I felt like in the game yesterday, first half, I thought Callum was really quiet. Didn't get much kind of chance to do anything. But I think some, a little bit of help for him, should something happen. I don't want to say it because I feel like I'm going to, cause something to happen maybe. But I think striker's definitely a priority for me. I think we're all right winger-wise if it came to it. So If the 11 o'clock on the 1st of September comes and we haven't signed another winger, then I'm okay with that. But I would really like another striker as backup.
Yeah, it's just that, squad depth, I think, Alex. And, when we changed it up in the second half, Forest got a little bit more into the game because we didn't seem to have that same spark when the subs came on. And I think that just sort of said to me, we still a couple of players just short of that depth that we need.
Yeah, I mean, people were tiring a little bit. Willock tired very badly yesterday. He was very good offensively with his shots and little through balls. Very, very good. Very impressive. But his tracking back was very poor. He left big holes in the midfield that possibly you couldn't see from the TVs at home. A lot of people screaming for Willock to get back. So he's got the opposite problem of Longstaff. He's got that attacking flair, but is missing the position and defensive awareness that maybe he needs. It's frustrating. He couldn't beat Colback in a few runs, albeit Colback was fouling him a little bit. But yeah, I mean, that's why he brought the subs on. Ultimately, that's why we had a replacement for Miggy and Willock, because first game of the season, the lads possibly aren't 100% fitness. It happens. They'll get there. But we do need an attacker of some form. I'm still of the opinion. I think we need somebody a bit more polished in that right-sided 8. I think Sean Longstaff and Joe Willock are both promising, but they're not there yet. And for us to be trying to do the things we're trying to do, we need that right-sided 8 to be there. And neither of them are quite there. So it does concern me a little bit.
Yeah. But I think, look, Eddie will be aware of it.
The thing is, we do need a striker, but so did Chelsea, so did Manchester United,
Absolutely.
so did lots of clubs.
I don't think Man City do, to be fair.
They're okay.
I'll phrase it this way. As long as they bring in some offensive players, like offensive-minded, whether that's striker, attacking mid, right wing, whatever, I'll just trust the club, But obviously that's what they're looking for. So
West Ham are going out for a striker as well. I think
another one.
I was a bit concerned about Antonio.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But listen, Haaland, I mean, they're gonna be dangerous
Fantasy
this season.
Team.
Sorry?
Fantasy team.
Yeah, I took him out of mine because I'm a dick. I mean, if his finishes, that's what a striker's all about. But when you've got somebody in the middle like De Bruyne who can play a through ball like that for City's second goal, but the composure just to, leave it and then adjust his body so he could take it on his left foot, just calmly as anything, and that's what we need to see. But Danielle, you mentioned it before with Callum Wilson. He didn't get much in the first half, but that was the frustrating thing, Billy, about the first half was the fact that we were dominating the game, but it was just that final ball wasn't there.
I was critical of Callum Wilson quite a lot because he was doing the same runs as Chris Wood. He was going far post every time. But it was all money in the bank. It was all investment because when he went near post, Nick Carte was slow going with him. Bang, goal. It was a fantastic bit of centre forward play to give Nia Carter that false sense of security that when the chance came, he was going to take it. He did. Brilliant play. All them times when he'd made the run to the back post was suckering Nia Carter in, and it was brilliant. Absolutely superb.
Andy Magpie Watson, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much for your membership. And we've got a £4.49 super chat from Chappaz, who says, great interview with Eddie from Tyneside Life, Paul. Yep. Thank you very much. I put my equipment away by the time I went to get, because I was going to have Eddie on mine as well, but we'll definitely get Eddie on the next one. I hope everyone enjoyed that little sort of fan cam and stuff I did. It seemed to come out quite well, so I'm really pleased with that. So there'll be a lot more of that at the home games, and of course Saturday I'll be doing the commentary for the Brighton game, which I'm very excited for because it's going to be a cracker. Ian says, do you not think the Forest game was a massive ad aimed at any potential new signings who may have second thoughts about coming to Newcastle? I don't think it was aimed at any new signings. I think that, Eddie was right what he said in the press conference, that he was going to send the team out, not get carried away with the atmosphere, just go out and do a job. And by God, they did a job. I mean, look, they did a job. They were brilliant. I love this particular picture, by the way, because Lingard's in the background looking sick as a parrot, thinking, why have I signed for Nottingham Forest? I've missed out on all of this. And Danielle, I mean, that, Shah's just wheeling away. I don't know who he's pointing at when he scored, but he's wheeling away. Miggy's ready to throw his body all over him, with a big smile on his face. It's a cracking photo, that, isn't it?
Oh, it's brilliant. And do you know what? I mean, to be fair to Lingard, he did take some jip for the full 90 minutes. However, again, I'll say what I said before. I think we swerved a bullet. I don't think he's going to give Forest what they're looking for at all. I just don't think they will. And in terms of how we played yesterday, I think we're just setting our stall out to say this is Newcastle United. Like Mo Flag said, it's a new day, it's a new dawn. We're feeling good. We are feeling good.
That was brilliant when that came on in the stadium. It was
literally
brilliant.
I've had it on today when I was.
I thought you might. Yeah,
the goosebumps just takes you back to that moment where you actually think, I couldn't have said it better myself. Exactly what it is. Like this is Newcastle United now. So forget what you've seen at the start of last season. This is what we're all about. And for any other teams watching, this is what you're going to get. When you come to St James's Park, which is the fortress that it once was, you're going to get us coming at you. So
and I think we've got to talk about the second goal as well, Alex, because Joe Linton's brilliant pullback. Callum Wilson signalled where he wanted the ball. It was a lovely build-up, a lovely move, and the pullback was superb. But the finish from Callum, when you watch it again, just superb, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he's got this quality in his locker, to be fair. He quite frequently scores outrageous goals that we, are amazed by. But he did the right things as a striker. He wouldn't have been able to guarantee that was going to sort of happen exactly how it happened. But he managed to beat his man and get a foot to it and try to aim it somewhere goalwards. Yeah, and it worked. These things are somewhat instinctive when you do them for thousands and thousands of hours. And he knew what he had to do to get in the position, and he, and then Joe Linton as well. I mean, hats off to Maxi and to Miggy and Joe Linton, because this was an instruction. This was planned to try and rotate who was on the left, keep mixing it up, changing it.
They did, and it worked.
And that ultimately came because Miggy and Maxi had gone somewhere else, and Joe tried the left wing, and it was in just one rotated phase, and it worked because we were trying so many different ways to try and add more goals, and it did eventually work. So,
But that's the thing about. Sorry, Danielle.
I was just going to say, shout out to Billy for his goal celebration. I've got to say, because the Robin Hood "You're No Good" was the best. Honestly, I can't even. I was crying last night when I was watching it. It's brilliant. So funny. Yeah. Classic Billy.
Superb. Absolutely. But Billy, that's a sign of a quality striker, isn't it? You're very, very quiet in the first half. Didn't get many opportunities because the service wasn't there. But as soon as the service is right, it just takes one chance and it's in the back of the net.
He's a fox in the box, isn't he? But as I said before, he was making these runs to the back post. And I was getting annoyed with him because I thought, well, that's what Chris Wood does. I criticise him for the same. But it was all the investment in the bank for when it came to when it went near post. And he went near Carter with a split second behind him. And that was all he needed. It was just fantastic poachership. Brilliant goal. Just a brilliant finish.
Yeah, Niakate was good for the majority of the game as well. But 1 second of not following your man, and that's what happens in the Premier League at this level.
I agree. I thought
he did have a dodgy first 10 minutes though. He was clearly nervous because he gave the ball away once that almost set us on a breakaway. There was a couple of passes that he put out of play, conceded a corner. He was all over the shop first 10 minutes, but he grew. By God, did he grow into the game? And he did have a very good game. I think he's going to be a very good signing for Forest.
Yeah. The middle period of the game, Miggy and Wilson couldn't run past him. He's just a tank.
He was there. Gary Moore, thank you for your £20 super chat, matey. Very, very kind. Bruno is different gravy. Unreal. At one point, the commentator remarked that he made an uncharacteristic bad pass. But when you watch it, it was a sublime pass. Just no one else was on the same wavelength to get onto it. Look, there was some fantastic passes in that game yesterday. And we were passing the ball around very, very quickly and assuredly, compared to what we've seen in recent seasons, just where things have been static. There was a lot more movement there yesterday, which was. Well, it made the difference because Forest couldn't keep up with us. They were all over the place. And, of course, the there you go. First win of the season, first win, first game. If you just look, somewhere in amongst those is, of course, Dan Burn. I don't know whether you can see him. But if you notice to Dan Burn's left, you can just see Ryan Fraser's little head peeking above the trainer's shoulder. It just seems to be a thing now where any photo with Newcastle United, Fraser's got to be with Dan Burn. They've struck up a fantastic friendship. And you can see it on social media and everything. They are such good friends. But you know what? It's brilliant. And there seems to be, Danielle, that camaraderie that was there last season. By God, it's there already at the start of this.
Yeah, I think we've picked up an even better position, like in terms of being united than we were at the end of the season. I think they're playing for each other. They're playing for the team. They're confident in their movement. Like you said, it was very fast. Everyone was all laying the passes towards the end of the game because it was just fantastic football.
Yeah,
it's exactly what we want, how we want to kind of set our stall out and say this is what we're about. Just amazing. I was expecting, I know I said 5-0, but you know what I'm like. I was expecting a good performance, but I was not expecting the kind of movement that was showed, and just playing with confidence. It's fantastic to see. Game 1, amazing.
Yeah, what I like to see yesterday was, again, if Nick Pope caught the ball, he would get high-fived off his centre-backs, the centre-backs blocking things. And I think it was Dan Burn made a tremendous block in the first half on the one real opportunity the Forest had in that first half.
Share.
Was it Share? Sorry. Yeah. And they were high-fiving each other, and it was just brilliant. It really was. And that kind of camaraderie, whether we win or lose, we stay together kind of attitude, that is going to carry us, Billy, a long way forward this season.
Of course it is. It's a massive thing to have on your side, is the camaraderie that we've got, the unity, all for one and one for all attitude that we've got. And you can put that down to the manager, can't you? Because it wasn't like that before he came. Yeah, it's a massive plus in our pocket, and long may it continue, because while the wins keep coming, it's going to get better.
Yeah, exactly. Now, moving on to the midfield, Alex. Obviously, the game was pretty much dominated by Bruno and Joe Linton. But what I noticed throughout the game was just how much I think Joe Linton has already learned from Bruno. And what I mean by that is, when Joe Linton's receiving the ball, he's now receiving it. If he's got a man on him, he's receiving it exactly the same way that Bruno does. He sticks his back end out and he pivots round. So it's very, very difficult for the man that's marking him to try and get the ball. Mm-hmm. And Joe Linton's now doing the same as Bruno. And those two are just like brick walls trying to get the balls off. They just can't get it. Mm-hmm. And Joe Linton's passing and distribution yesterday, for me, was up there with Bruno yesterday. There was no doubt about it. He played some wonderful balls.
Yeah, I mean, this is true in football. It's really, this is exactly why Guardiola, when he was talking about Phil Foden going out on loan a few years ago, this is why he said no, because Phil Foden's got the potential and he wants him in the training sessions with the best players. It makes a difference. And you can see that in Joe Linton's games, little tiny bits that he never used to do, such as holding off in certain ways. He's not just using his strength. It's about angles and even his little runs. There were a few times where Bruno had a lot on him, and Joe Linton would make a run because he knows that Bruno will have a look, and he'll play the pass if he sees it. They just, they know how each other play already. It was visually, obvious in game 1. They definitely
so many times, Alex. When you Bravo Moore's just come in with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you very much. Do you think Paqueta would be better than signing a striker? We'll come on to that. But thank you very much, matey. Just saying, Bruno and Joe Linton, they're going to be very, very difficult to play against this season, aren't they? They seem to be a step above. And, in a couple of years gone by, obviously, when Joe Linton's had the ball and he's tried to take players on, we've all gone, oh, Christ, just get rid of it, please. But now, he just skips around people and then plays an easy ball, or he hit one ball across the field yesterday to Trippier, which was just fantastic. He'd received the ball. He had 2 men on him. he pivoted round, held them off, and sprayed the ball out wide. It was brilliant. And if he continues that form, is there an opportunity, if he keeps going this season, to hit the Brazil squad?
Oh yeah, there's absolutely got to be. I mean, with Fred struggling slightly, and you've got Fernandinho who's aging, you've got Fabinho who is at a good age. So you've got Fabinho, Coutinho, Paqueta, Joe Linton, Bruno. You've got a few in that midfield, but Fred struggling and Fernandinho aging, he's an option for them. He might not start, but he might go if he continues his form. I saw somebody describe Joe Linton yesterday, and I giggled. I half agree with this. He plays like bits of Yaya Toure and then bits of Kolo Toure when it comes to his finishing. Because he can just be so world class, and then just fluff his lines at the last minute.
Goal, that we played the clip earlier on. It was right at the start. If that had gone in, the roof would have lifted off the ground.
I mean, if he can improve those finishes and sort of polish his game at that end as well, he looks like he could be a 10-goal a season midfielder and destroyer, and sort of ball progressor in both dribbling and passing. He could be everything. There's not a lot of teams in the Premier League that have got somebody like Joe Linton at the moment who can destroy and ball progress. It's very impressive, very, very impressive. And then Bruno on his own, what team wouldn't he get in at the moment? I mean, he needs to calm down slightly, because Madrid are going to come and knock in, because he's, there's just some of the quality is just outrageous.
And of course, we've got to remember that the youngsters will training with these guys every day. We've seen the difference in Joe Linton, but for the likes of young Elliot Anderson and Joe Willock to a certain degree, Sean Longstaff, playing with these players is going to be massive, because they're training with them every day, Danielle.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think in terms of any line of work, if you're in an environment where you're around your colleagues, you kind of soak up kind of things that your colleagues do and take a little bit from each colleague, etc., and make your own. So I think you're exactly right. I think it's great to see, and especially for players like Elliot Anderson, who at such a young age with experience, that he's hopefully going to make the full squad at the end of the month. What an opportunity for him to improve and to play, having these level of players. I mean, Bruno, he's above like everyone we've got by a mile. Imagine how amazing. It's just amazing. Yeah.
Ryan says I'd snap anyone's hand off for a draw next week based off that Brighton performance today. Look, Ryan, I don't agree with you, mate, because I think we should be confident going into that game to win. Man United were not good today. Man United have been all over the place for a long time now, and they still are. Ten Hag has got one hell of a job to try and turn that team around. But fair enough, Brighton went and won the game, but we also won our game, and we've got a hell of a team as well. Let's not forget that. And we are a good side now. So, Brighton will be looking at us thinking, it's probably going to be a tougher game than Man United, because Man United are all over the place. And look how we played yesterday. We completely dominated the game. And yes, you can say a little disappointing in the final third that we didn't punish them more, but I think the players recognise that as well. Callum Wilson said in his interview after the game that he knew that the final third wasn't there despite the domination of the game. So that will be worked on. But I think Brighton will be worried about playing us. And that's massive. When was anybody worried about playing Newcastle United until now?
We're no longer Newcastle Charity FC, are we? Do you know
exactly.
What I mean?
So
I agree.
Some battle in midfield, isn't it? There'll be some battle in that midfield, because
I just don't want to see this. Snapping hands off for a draw anymore. Why
can't use the wrong words? I wouldn't be disappointed with a draw, but I think he was edging in the sort of the
as long as we play well. I
wouldn't be happy with a draw. I wouldn't be happy with one by any means, no. But I wouldn't be disappointed with a draw, because we'd be 4 points from 2 against a decent Brighton side, and that would be, double points versus games played. But I wouldn't be happy with a draw, because we want to be winning those games.
At the minute, I think we can win next Saturday, but if we come away with a draw, so be it. But
obviously it depends how the game itself goes, Billy, isn't it? It depends how the game goes. If for whatever reason, it's end-to-end football, and it turns out that it could be a 2-2 draw or something like that. But it's a great game. Both teams have played well. Then fair enough, take the draw. A point away from home, as Malcolm McDonald keeps saying, in the Premier League is a bonus. You win your home games, you get as many points as you can away from home. But listen, I understand where Ryan's come from, but I'm past the stage of saying now I'd snap people's hands off for draws, because I think the side we've got, we are capable of going to Brighton and getting the 3 points, no matter how
a head
Brighton
start
played.
on our rivals as well. With Villa losing and West Ham losing, we've got a 4-goal swing on both of those sides now, and they're both challenging for the spaces we want to be in. So, perfect start.
I think Tiger wants to bring Mitro back.
Well, he got a bit of service. Like I said pre-season, to give Mitro service in the Premiership, and I think 4 goals, and he did.
I know
he
it's
was
game
outstanding
1.
yesterday.
Can I say I told you so to like half the chat, by the way?
Well, I did say to sign Mitro, of course.
Here we go. God's sake.
But he gave Van Dijk the absolute turnaround, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he looks an accomplished Premier League player now, and you have to remember how
45 goals in 45 matches.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
I think long gone are the days where you can say Mitro isn't Premier League standard, because he is. He's gone and scored 2 against Liverpool.
In 45 matches, he's going to have a hefty price tag.
He is going to have a.
Well, he did it against Van Dijk as well. It wasn't against nobody.
He bossed Van Dijk and Matip all over the place. And not just that, he came back and helped the defence also. It was an absolute awesome performance from him.
Of course, there's a long way to go. 37 games still to go, of course. So we'll see how he gets on. Hi, Paul, Danielle, Billy, and Alex from Michael. Hope you're all well. And Billy, well done for a brilliant watch along. Michael, I hope your backside was all right this morning, mate. After your chili dog burgers. That man can put a chili burger away, I tell you. Simon says, anyone noticed the multi-ball system was introduced at yesterday's game, getting the balls for throw-ins much quicker, keeping the game flowing? Yeah, it was really good. And credit to the ball boys and ball girls. They got the game going, flowing, and really quickly. It was excellent, to be honest.
Tinder was helping out with that. I think he chucked the ball quick for a fast throw.
He did?
Yeah. He absolutely did. Good evening, you guys, on this wonderful start of the season. Made fantastically more better because Man U shite. We're beaten at home. The future is bright. The future is black and white. Absolutely. I just met ASM in Harrods in London buying a laptop. Okay. Congratulations.
Yeah, I think he was going down to London, wasn't he? Yesterday?
Yeah, he was. Listen, he might be visiting John Joe because he's down there at the minute seeing a specialist. So
I think he took his lad down to London.
Yep. Which is where I'm heading with my lad on Wednesday. And it's going to be 32 degrees.
Good luck to you.
Be more than that, London.
Well, one thing. No, I've checked. It's 26 up here or something, 32 in London. But listen, hey, I ain't wearing the Castoria Newcastle tops. That is a certainty, because they will just stick to me. They will start melting in the sun, and I will have to go to the hospital to have them surgically removed as they melt on my skin. Ken says, in my opinion, Bruno is the complete midfielder. Apart from being the midfield general, some of the defence splitting passes were just a joy to see. I think is this sort of false thing about him being just a complete defensive midfielder, Bill. He's out the window.
I've been saying it for months. It's not just one-offs. It's every week he gives the perfect all-round midfield performance. He makes runs into the box. He breaks up attacks. He creates chances. Man's just the best all-round midfielder I've seen in a Newcastle shirt ever. And that's only after 6 months.
He's brilliant. He is
Man's
brilliant.
awesome.
Undoubtedly. I Like Coffee's callback was Forest's best player. Do you know what? I'd just like to say, he played really, really well yesterday for Forest. He kept things very simple. He got stuck in. I don't think he got booked, actually, which was a miracle.
Fraser couldn't get past him when he came on.
Fraser couldn't. No, look, credit to him, right? He came. It was difficult circumstances for callback because, of ex-Newcastle, but a lot of the fans around me were calling him a Mackem twat. So, despite the fact he played for us as well. But listen, he did well. I didn't think he would have been as good as he was, to be honest. But he kept things simple, and he was, motivating the new signings. He kept everything going. So credit to Jack Callback. I really do mean that. He did well.
He's probably a lot fitter than we've ever seen him, because we saw a lot of him under Bruce, didn't we? So
absolutely.
Maybe he's fitter than
Yeah. He definitely fitter.
But Billy said the same thing on the watch along about Fraser not beating him in a race as well. I heard that And I said it to you both yesterday as well.
did.
I'm really concerned that Fraser can't beat Colback in a race.
And he was fresh
10
on.
minutes after coming on.
He was fresh on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That has
Colback
concerned
had
me.
been on the pitch for 80 minutes and he'd only been on 5 minutes and he couldn't beat him in the race.
That worries me.
You know, that says a lot about Colback's fitness as well, doesn't it? Just what we were saying there. Brian makes an interesting point saying, didn't think Trippier was great. A lot of bad passes. Now, Alex, I said this after the game. You know, Trippier did give the ball away a lot yesterday, and he's done that a lot in pre-season. Is it something to be concerned about?
I wouldn't think so. I think he was awful in his first half an hour in pre-season, and then the next game he was shaky but better. And then yesterday he was fairly decent, but had a couple of. I think he's just taking a bit of time. You've got to remember how much we rely on him. You know, he is the outlet on that right side of midfield. We don't tend to use Target and build up that much. Target tends to receive the ball. We tend to start on the right, make some space left, and then we try and do Target and Maxi run into space. So Trippier is used in build up a lot more. Like he had 101 touches. That's a lot. That's a lot for a right back. So he is playing almost with the responsibility of a midfielder in that way. So you know, you got to give him the benefit of the doubt. And a lot of the balls were, you know, he got a lot of aggressive chases on him as well when they were passing out to the fullbacks. They were pressing quite aggressively. It's fine. It'll be fine.
I'm not worried. It's just obviously I did notice a few wayward passes again, but it'll all come together. I mean,
I'd be more concerned about the chance that Surridge had when he was Trippier could see the whole picture and didn't make a challenge.
Yeah,
I
remember that one. Yeah,
more concerned about a bit like the Watford goal, the Pereira goal, similar to that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gladys says, "Can supporters please not assault Adam Pearson when he's doing his podcast? I'm sure you would not want anyone doing it to you."
100%.
I've seen it before. I've seen his videos. Look, I think from my point of view, I think when certainly after games, you know, or when you're going to film outside a bar where, you know, Newcastle fans have been drinking and come out the euphoria. It's not an excuse, this, by the way. Absolutely not. But you're going to get them fans jumping in front of the camera and being a bit rowdy and stuff like that. And then after the game, when the euphoria of winning a game, they've had a few bevies, and you know, and you're filming right in the middle of the fans coming out. It's you're gonna get that, and it's hard to try and not.
They didn't do it to Tyneside Life Eddie, and they don't do it to you. So there's no reason for them to do it to Adam.
No,
I'm afraid.
I'm not saying that for a second. What I'm saying is, Adam gets started on his podcasts right at the end, right when the fans are coming out, the bulk of them. Now, Eddie waited a while before it started to die down. But I think it's because it's Adam's age, right?
Yeah.
They think they can get away with it with him. They don't do it to me. They don't do it to Eddie.
Well, that makes it more pathetic on their part. They take advantage.
Absolutely does. And you know what it is? The theme from running through yesterday was people just who cannot take a drink.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
We've seen somebody getting punched outside the ground and hitting full face on the floor. Like we've seen, was it one Nottingham Forest fan going up the stairs and mortal could barely stand up, saying, you know, your accent's
shite shows your team.
Yeah. A lot of people, sat behind me, were full of drink. Like it was just if you kind of take it, lads,
you're always going to get it though. That's the problem. And my only advice to Adam,
mean it's okay.
Of course not. No, definitely not. It's disgusting, to be honest. It really is.
Put the arm around his neck.
But the only advice I would give to Adam is maybe until it calms down a bit, maybe film in a bit more of a quieter spot when you're doing your review of the game. And you shouldn't have to. I'm not saying he has to. You know, it's rank bad, it's wrong, and it's shocking behaviour. But maybe just take yourself out of that firing line for a little bit. Just do your interviews with the fans when it's calmed down a little bit, or just to quiet the spot.
Mate, I disagree with you because Eddie does it outside Shearer's bar.
But I'm just.
But Eddie does it outside a bar and he's fine. So why should Adam have to do different?
Because Adam's a young kid. And they're always going to target the young kid because they wouldn't do it to me and Eddie because we just turn around and chin the bastards, right? Yeah, no. That's what we do. You know, if anyone manhandled us like that, I'm not saying for 1 second that it's right. I'm just trying to give Adam a little bit of advice as his friend, because I don't like seeing my friend getting bashed about like that, and people grabbing him and pushing him around or jumping in front of the camera.
Really
just have some frigging respect. But these idiots aren't going to go away. That's the thing. People who can't take the drink and are drinking all the time and making absolute arseholes of themselves, it's not going to go away. So, Adam mentioned in his video today about, it'll happen more away from home because there's constant drinking. The fans are drinking on the buses as soon as they get on the bloody things, no matter what time of day it is. And they're intoxicated by the time they get to the ground. And that's the problem. Adam does a lot of stuff by himself. And that's my worry as his friend.
Absolutely.
He goes around a lot by himself. And he's in that vulnerable position. He does great videos. He's living his life and he's having a brilliant time doing it. But when it comes to this, I've known Adam a while now, and he's a good friend of mine. And it worries me that when he's doing all of this, he's going by himself, and people just think they can get away with it because he's a young kid, and it is wrong. And that is why I'm saying maybe just take yourself away from that situation for a few weeks, just because you can see he's genuinely hurt by it.
He looked really frightened when the guy put his arm around his neck. Like, he looked like this is not okay.
So.
I think it's the club's responsibility to protect fans outside the stadium. As we grow as a club and we're challenging for trophies, we've got European visitors. It's going to get rowdier. It's going to get more competitive. This is going to become more of an issue. We need security. We need a bit more from the club. If this kind of thing continues, it can't just.
We know.
This is why police exist, because we can't just say, "Oh, well, you've got to take yourself out of situations because annoying people exist." That's obviously that doesn't work.
No, that's not what I meant by that, Alex. I think if he's I'm not saying he has to do that because of that reason. I'm saying he is worried something. You could clearly see, and what he said it on his video today, that he was worried something was going to happen to him. Right. So that's why I'm saying take yourself away for a while. Don't put yourself in that position if you're feeling vulnerable, because because that kind of thing.
But then they win, don't they? He should
just come and film. But at the same time, you've got to think of your own safety. And I know what it's like coming out of that ground. You've got all these rowdy gits who are absolutely hammered off the heads, and he's a young kid, and it's gonna scare him. All these people like pushing him around in the chest, jumping in front of him, threatening him. It's not right. And it's wrong. We all know it's wrong.
It's one of our own, man.
From my point of view, I'm just trying to give him some advice to take him out of that situation where he's not feeling so vulnerable.
I just don't want him to have to do that. I think it's unfair.
Alex, I agree with you 100% on that, mate. He shouldn't have to. No way should he have to do that. But unfortunately, until something is sorted with regards to that outside the ground, then what other choice? Because I don't want to see my friend be put in a vulnerable position like that, because they wouldn't do it to Eddie. They don't do it to me. Look at the abuse I've had online. Saying, "Oh, I'll knock you out of the game," or back it last summer, "I'll slit your throat if I see you outside St James's Park." Where are they? They don't do that. They don't approach me at St James's Park. They don't jump in front of my camera and make arses of themselves, because they wouldn't. But they do for Adam because they think they can get away with it.
The obvious answer is UPD, Eddie, do it in similar places. Why don't Adam do it in a similar place? And at least then you've got strength in numbers.
Yeah.
Well, we do. I mean, Eddie came along and I thought, I was thinking, right, should it be like that? And I thought, no, it's fine in the end, because Eddie was doing his interviews, Peter was doing his, I was doing mine. We all just, interviewed all each other's guests, and it worked, actually. It did. So, yeah, that's a good idea, Billy. But, we all know that some Newcastle fans are sick in the head. They really are, for what they put on social media, for how they behave. But that's the same across every single football club in the UK. You will get the arsehole supporters. We know that. And unfortunately, our club has them just like any other club in the UK or around the world, for that matter. But when you're targeting a young lad like Adam, and that's what it is. They're targeting him because they see him and think, oh, he's on his own. He's he's not very tall, Adam, is he? He's just, and he's still very young. And they think, right, we'll get away with it. We can jump in front of the camera. We can swear effing and C's and all of this in front of his camera and put him off. And some are generally just wanting to say hello to him. I understand that. But some of the stuff, I've seen it from your own eyes. sort of patting them on, not just patting them, I mean really thumping them on the chest or grabbing them in the back of the neck saying, come on, that's wrong.
That's society today, though, Paul. That's society today. I mean, you see it with Sky Sports News, don't you? When it transfer windows with people throwing ladies' equipment around over their heads and swearing and that matter. So, I mean, it's going to be the same with the YouTubers outside the grounds, fortunately.
Well, I mean, situation, but it's not right, I agree with Alex 100%. I think the club maybe has to do a bit more as to, because it can be a very, very, if you're a young lad or a young lass walking around after the game, when you've got 52,000 people coming out that ground and you see so many quite rowdy people, some just celebrating a win and haven't had a drink, but some have had a drink and can't control it. It can be very, very daunting and scary.
It's intimidating. Like, the game yesterday, I tried to go to the loo at half time, and literally, you know how small I am. Like, I couldn't get through, and everybody was taller than me. Everyone was just. I just felt really claustrophobic, and everywhere I went, there was bottles of beer going, and I was just like, I don't like the situation that I'm in. It's not because I felt threatened. Nobody would have done anything. It was just, imagine, I worry for Adam in that situation, just because people think that they can do stuff like that with him.
At the end of the day, this is just,
it's not acceptable.
This is just a young lad who wants to go out and do videos about his favourite football
club. Make a living for himself. That's what he wants to do. He
bleeds black and white. He loves Newcastle United Football Club. He loves everything about it. And this is an opportunity for him to go out and do something that he really loves. Why on God's earth should people have a problem with it? Why? There's just no reason for it. No reason, no rhyme, no nothing. You know, just let the lad be and do what he loves doing.
They feel like it makes them look hard and clever in front of their pals after a couple of pints.
Yeah,
like, we know what I just did, Adam P. Like, you look like an absolute knob. Just stop it.
It's sad, and let's just hope Adam doesn't have to do any more of that. But you know, considering for a friend, just seeing him, you know, it does worry me that he's sort of putting himself in positions where he's on his own. You know, just maybe don't be on your own as much. Just, you know, come around and stand with your mates, but still, you can still do your videos and your interviews and still make good quality videos. There's no doubt about that. But it needs to stop, man. It's ridiculous. The Big Right Hand says Premier League football might be guaranteed sooner this season. Oh, dear me. I'm not even looking at that. No way. Jason wants to know what you're drinking, Alex.
It is San Miguel.
CC San Miguel. Do you remember them adverts, Billy?
No.
Okay. You're lying twat, because I know you do. Right. Alan's making a point about the corner from Nottingham Forest. Now, I'm going to put it on the screen now, right?
Oh, my God.
I will never understand what the tactics were for this corner, considering I think at the time they were losing the game and needed to get back in it. I don't get it. And here it is. I mean, somebody explained to me there isn't a single red shirt for the Nottingham Forest guy to actually hit.
But
and I think Newcastle players are looking around saying, where the hell's the Forest players?
Who do we defend?
Yeah, but they knew they were coming at some stage. So, I mean, it's not going to fool anyone, is it? You know what I mean? It's pathetic. Like the cavalry suddenly charged up.
I mean, here they are. They're way too far out of the penalty box to
like they're in a ghillie suit.
It's ridiculous.
I thought it was hilarious. Honestly,
the funny thing here is they didn't even charge the back post, which is where the space is.
Yeah,
that made me laugh the most.
There is. There's a whole host of space there, and you know, I don't know who that is holding their arms out. I think it's Trippier, to be honest, but he's looking to sort of. I think is that Murphy's point new, and he's saying where the hell are the Forest players? What are we supposed to do here? What are the tactics?
No, I
think it just shocked everybody.
Point,
it's just like, what the hell is going on?
Absolutely.
It must have worked in training when there was no defenders there.
Yeah, it was just all the
well,
metal.
It probably would work if there's no defenders there, you know, but I found that bizarre. And I found some of the tactics from Forest very, very strange, to say the least.
Yeah, they went 4-2-4 when they went 2-0 down, which is a proper like National League. Oh God, we need to win this game. Like 4-2-4 is bonkers, especially against what we had up front with pace. Like, oh dear God, they were lucky we were just happy passing it around, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. Tiger says Arsenal going in for Diaby. It would be shocking if he goes there after telling us he's not leaving. Just have to wait. Just
all
have
of the
to wait.
dice, isn't it? Just what happens. Like
I think Arsenal are going to cause a lot of problems for some teams this season.
I'm not whinging.
No, absolutely not.
If they get Diaby, we should put a bid in for Saka.
Cheeky Billy. Cheeky.
Bring him home.
It certainly would be a cheeky little bid, wouldn't it?
Cheeky.
Christopher says Miggy didn't want to shoot with his right foot yesterday. So frustrating. Yeah, there was once in the second half, if he'd hit it with his right foot, he would have scored. But he didn't.
And I think after that, he ran over to the advertising boards and gave it a good kick in frustration, didn't he?
Yes, it was very much Ketspire-esque.
Yes.
And he screamed into the high heavens because he knows it was a really good opportunity.
I did ask him to shoot with his right foot at full time as well. When they were clapping around, I said, "Con la derecha, Miggy, porfa," which is please with your right foot. Forgot that he just wouldn't do it. But he smiled and
he could have, of course, laid it across the goal for Callum Wilson to tap the one to an empty net.
Yeah. Wilson was streaming at him as well. Like, I did notice that. G, thank you very much for $5 Singapore, mate. He says, I agree with Paul. If walking alone in a back alley is dangerous, then avoid it. Adam P should have waited for the rowdy mass to leave, then do his interviews.
They're everywhere. You can't just wait for the rowdy mass to leave.
Look, people are going to have different opinions on this, right? And I'm only saying to do it because I'm his friend. And I do genuinely worry that he's putting himself in very vulnerable situations sometimes when he's on his own. It's different if there's 3 or 4 years around and the rowdy bunch is there. But I can guarantee you, if Adam was standing with us and those rowdy, he's filming and then people were walking past, they wouldn't have dared come over. I guarantee it. They wouldn't have made the fuss that they did. But I'm seeing it from a friend point of view. I don't want to see anything happen to Adam. That's why I'm saying it. Alex, you've got a screenshot there. What are you putting up?
Oh, it's just all the pitch side views and tactics, and I also promised to do the lineup of match day 1 from the previous season, just for fun.
Well, there you go. That's your first one.
So this was our lineup against West Ham, the 4-2 loss.
Oh my God! Would you?
Steve Bruce is still in charge.
I don't know if anyone noticed today when in the West Ham game that they just had to slyly mention that. I mean, what was the relevance? They said, this time last year, West Ham beat Newcastle 4-2, which was live.
Well, of course, because anything to get at us. Anything to have a dig.
I'll tell you what did happen today, which is slightly different topic, but similar, is when Sky Sports were reporting the weekend results, they forgot to put Villa's loss. So if you go and look at the Sky Sports report for the weekend, they forgot Villa. And all the Villa fans are tweeting about it, saying, oh God, even they want us to forget.
Yeah. But by the way, latest update on subscribers, we are 28 away.
Wow.
Actually, no, we're not 28 away. Hang on. Sorry, 18 away.
Wow.
We are 18 away from 13,000. So we are very, very close, guys. So basically, if you're watching and you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, it's free. Hit the subscribe and also the that notification bell, ding ding, which will let you know when we do upload or go live. And if you'd like to donate to the channel, hit the $sign at the bottom of the live comments, and that'll take you right through. Go on, Alex.
Quickly on another subject as well. Same subject actually. Last night, a match of the day when Everton played Chelsea, they put the Villa badge up for Everton before the game started at the back.
Wow,
which was quite funny also.
Jesus. Right, sorry, Alex. Carry on there, mate.
So. Right, let's take a look and try and pluck first team players from this, shall we? There we go. That wasn't very hard, was it? That was quite easy. That took 2 seconds. I mean, Shelvey's injured, so arguably he's not first team. But that is how quick it is to remove people who aren't playing anymore in the first team. The whole back five has changed. Obviously, Kraft doesn't play at centre back anymore. Woodman's gone. Clark's gone. Richie's still floating around. Kraft is now a decent right back. Yeah. So it's night and day difference. It's just outrageous. And I've actually got from match week 1, I've got a few stats from then and now. So we've got a little bit more. We actually did okay against West Ham statistically. We just weren't fit enough and we dropped off because we weren't fit enough. So we had more possession against Forest, more shots, 60 more passes, which is good. We still scored 2 goals, but we didn't concede any. So we conceded obviously 4 at West Ham. And I'm going to do a point accumulation. So each match we play, I'm going to put up how many points we've got now on each match week and how many we had at the same time in the previous season.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
So this is going to start to look really funny really quickly.
Well, it will look really funny really soon, won't it? I mean, that points accumulated is going to stay 0 for a long time, a long start of the season. Yeah.
You should also put a fitness threshold, minutes of when they got knackered. And
oh yeah, well, that would be good. And then we've got the actual squad that lined up. So I'm happy to say I got the 11 for us bang on correct. I think Paul gave the same prediction as well.
Me and Billy went for Botman.
Yeah. See, I think we thought Bird was probably
Longstaff. Yeah.
See, it was just the fact that he started that back 4 and Nick Pope against Atalanta last Friday, and I thought, that's going to be, we both said that could well be the starting lineup defensively wise.
And there was only one difference in the Forest lineup, so I was close. They started Niakate. I thought they would start. Where is he? Cook, but he didn't play, so it was Niakate. So I got what 21 out of the 22 correct. I was very very close. But there's not much to demonstrate on here other than they couldn't handle the midfield. Lingard couldn't win anything in midfield. Johnson he's ignore the numbers. These aren't correct numbers. Johnson's number 20. He was just constantly standing really high up. When Johnson was up the field from set pieces or whatever, we were generally leaving Trippier to mark him on his own, or sometimes Target. So if I move everybody up the pitch, there we go. So occasionally we'd have like Trippier would be guarding him. This is so much easier when you've got like a proper Sky Sports smart screen. There you go. So sometimes it'd be like Trippier would hang back just to like mop up a little bit. And then at other parts, it would be Target. It depended on where they were floating. So we'd try and use a fullback to try and stop that threat. And it worked pretty well. On the odd time he did get through, Byrne was aware to it and cleared it very quickly. Offensively, we struggled a lot. We did try and bring Almiron out to this side a few times, which did leave us a bit exposed. So there were a few situations when we were attacking like this and our shapes looked a bit like this. Trippier would be very high, the Target as well. And what would happen is the ball would get turned over, and obviously Miggy's on the left now. Willock was being a bit lazy in the second half, and they did have a lot of space to break into. There was a big hole here. Unfortunately for us, it didn't really get exploited. It could have done and it should have done. I mean, they were ideally, maybe that's what the funny paper was that they sent on. Maybe that was the instruction that they didn't seem to understand. But there was something to exploit there. And they just didn't. Maybe they didn't have the quality.
Well, Steve Cooper was getting very frustrated with something before that bit of paper came on the field. So
I think this could well have been
that.
O'Brien for Mangala made a difference. He did a little flick kind of in this area of the pitch that actually released a few of them. He looks a lot better. So I think we're quite fortunate, and we've played Forest at the right time because the Awoniyi looks quite tidy. They're 9 who came on. Mangala. So it looks like they've got a few good players. We just played them before they got their act together. Which is,
they don't. That's what we said. They don't seem to have blended as a team yet. So probably the right time to catch them was then. Sam says, "Will you guys ever upload the Streamers podcast?" We do. They go to iTunes, they go to Spotify, and all the other popular podcasts providers. Sam. So round about half an hour after the shows, they should be uploaded. So. I do put on social media when they're ready, but yes, they do go on. The Toon Review has a podcast channel on Spotify, on iTunes, I think on Google as well. So they're on the popular ones, matey. So they are there. Posh Geordie says, such a shame most players are really poor in front of goal because I really love them all. We'll always be mid-table unless we reluctantly upgrade. The finishing... we've talked about for a long time now, Danielle. The finishing is a little bit frustrating. Maxi had a couple yesterday. They cut inside and again just didn't catch the ball right when he's shooting. That's not to say, by the way, Maxi had a poor game because I thought he was much better yesterday.
Much better.
But again, the need to start. I don't understand, or they're not doing this in training or what, because it seems to be catching on with a lot of players.
Exactly that. And like I said earlier, it was very frustrating because for me, we could have been 2-0 up easy half time. The chances that were going in. I don't know why we couldn't finish it. I just don't know why. Thankfully, in the second half, obviously we did twice, but I think that's something Eddie will be monitoring going forward, working on in training, and obviously looking to bring more quality into the side. Which is needed. But yeah, it was very frustrating. I would have been upset about it if we'd come away with a point or lost because of those chances we couldn't put away this first half.
Mark Cooper says, well, Ben Jacobs says Maddison is going nowhere.
Right.
Ben Jacobs is a Leicester fan.
Yeah.
So if he's worried that he's going to lose Maddison. Miggy was good, but I was screaming, hit it with his right foot. Yeah, a lot of people were. Callum needs better service. Yeah, look, that's going to happen. That will come. Inevitably, it will, because it's only the first game of the season. A great win yesterday, and I'm enjoying the show with a few vodka and cokes. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Matthew.
Can I just point out about Wilson?
Yeah,
we're not going to play against the back five with a 6'3" Niakate on him every single week.
Good point.
A lot of opposition will use a back four, and Wilson might not have quite. It won't be quite as congested. And their back. I pointed this out to you at halftime, Paul. That whenever they broke, their back line didn't move up with it. Their back line stayed. So it was so hard for Wilson to do runs in. It would be easier for him against different opposition. That was tough, and he still scored. So
look, we're not, like you say, we're not going to play. As a defensively minded team as Nottingham Forest. That was their first game back in the Premier League, away at St James's Park, a massive occasion, and they'd have been delighted to have come away from that game with a point. And we should be delighted with the way we played and handled that, because sometimes, as we know, Billy, it's very, very frustrating when you go up against a team who is trying to get a draw, or they're doing everything they can not to lose the game. If they go up and score on the break or the counter-attack, fair enough. But they were determined to come away with something. It is very hard to break them down. And in years gone by, we would have struggled.
It would have been even harder had they had some kind of way of getting the ball out of the defence, because they were so naive in the way they were giving us the ball, the back five, every single time virtually. Just naivety.
We were hungry to win it back, though, Billy.
We were. The pressure was fantastic. They didn't know how to deal with it, and it's obviously much quicker than what they were used to in the Championship with better quality players. It's going to take them time to adjust, I think.
Absolutely.
But one more point about we saw a Forest fan on a few other channels this week saying how great a record Forest had at St James's Park. I was kind of scratching my head, so I looked into it. They haven't won at St James's Park since 1988. So that's if they think that's a good record, crack on, lads.
Yeah, it's a pretty disappointing record, to be honest. But there you go. Coach Austin, thank you for your £4.49 super chat. He says, evening all. Good start of the season. Could have been 5-0. Need to spend money now to compete with the top 7. Need goals. Indeed, we do. Should we have a little subscriber check again?
While you're checking that, somebody mentioned about us finishing mid-table as well, if we don't improve our output. Well, I mean, we finished 11th. Wolves in 10th last year scored. We scored 6 more goals than them. They finished in 10th.
Yeah.
Brighton in 9th. We scored 2 more goals than them. They finished above us in 9th. And we were 3 points off Leicester in 8th. So, and that was with the 14-game head start that everybody got on us. So that's just not true. That's not true.
We're 11 away.
Wow.
11 from 13K, so it's going up rapidly. We may. Right, we've got 1,000 people watching, which is absolutely unbelievable on a Sunday night. Thank you so much to everybody.
Thank you.
If you are new, as I say, please hit that subscribe button. We do a lot of shows. We put a lot of work into this. We've been pretty much live for the last 10 days. We do try and bring you content. I try and get a recorded one out with daily Newcastle news as well. Loads of stuff on the channel. So hit that subscribe button and the bell, which will let you know when we upgrade or we do go live. But we also have merchandise on the go. There is more merch coming onto the website this week, which includes, I have no idea, because I forgot to check with Susan. I do believe it's something about dog pet stuff, all sorts of stuff.
Ooh.
So keep your eye open for that. But if you're interested in the merch, this is where you can find it right now.
So let's get down to business.
I've been waiting, think I wanna make that move now. Baby, tell me if you like it. Tell me if you like it now. I've been waiting, think I wanna make that move now. Baby, tell me how you like it.
Let's get down to business.
So there you go, guys. The toonreview.co.uk, the place to go. Now, Susan is putting an order in. We've got Chipper's Love site back again by the looks of things. There is an order going in, I think, by around 10:30 tonight. The supplier is away for a couple of days next week, so we won't be putting an order in again until probably the week after. So please, if you want anything off the website this week, do hit the website now up until around 10 o'clock as the order is going in tonight. Stephen Hallway, thank you very much for your £5 super chat. This is good evening, Toon Review family. Hope you have a great weekend and fantastic result for the Toon. Indeed, it is. Right.
Can I just say something before we do the
Absolutely.
Can I just say a massive thank you to everybody who came over and said hello yesterday?
Indeed.
Both outside and inside the stadium. Had so many lovely, kind people coming over, getting photographs and having a chat and putting faces to names and names to faces even, whatever.
Yeah.
That's the sun. Yeah, just what an amazing day it was, and so many kind words, like, you know, how would really help people with these shows. And I just want to kind of say to all of those people, you help us as well.
Absolutely.
You
Yeah,
know,
100%.
in so many different ways. So, you know, I probably didn't get a chance to say it to everybody yesterday who came over, but thank you, because you really make a difference to me.
And thank you to John Joe as well for the ticket.
Oh, John Joe, what a superstar. And also John Joe as well, who was outside the ground, who
that's a different John Joe, yeah.
Paul, a new one, was brilliant. Well done, son.
Yeah, yes. Hi to John Joe. Yeah, he's a character as John Joe, without a shadow of a doubt. I'd just like to say thank you as well for the. He did bring me a program back from the ladies' final last week, so I haven't read it yet, but I'm really looking forward to having a look through that and keep that as some sort of, well, it's brilliant memorabilia, isn't it? The first Euros for the ladies team. So yeah,
he is, though,
he's hilarious. He's a good laugh, is John Joe. Right, we are going to move on to. I'm very interested in this today. We'll probably all know what Danielle's going to do, but it is now the player ratings. As usual, we will go around the guys, and each gets one player to give player ratings to, and we'll see if we agree with them. We'll start off with Billy Bob Coleman and Nick Pope.
Not a save to make, but his distribution and catching from crosses was perfect. Although he dropped one and regained the drop, but his distribution was absolutely superb, quick and to the point. 7 out of 10. Purely because it had nothing to do really as a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
But his distribution was great, and his anticipation of stuff coming through was also fantastic. 7 out of 10. Let's hope he doesn't get any work next week either. I mean, because he got
absolutely. Yeah. But you're right. I think 7 is fair, because you can't give him a high. I know he got a clean sheet, which is brilliant. But at the same time, he didn't really have that clean sheet threatened. Because Forest weren't cutting edge enough, but when they did try and get through, it's the defense stopped them, so it didn't even come to Nick Pope. But I'd agree with the 7, absolutely. The other John Joe, who gave Alex a ticket. Thank you very much, John Joe, for your £4.49 super chat. No problem, as long as you enjoyed the game, Alex. And Paul, behind every successful man, there is a Susan. Indeed. Yes, I have to say that. I'd be lost without her, to be honest. So there you go. Literally, yes. Right, do we all agree on 7 on Nick Pope, or any other changes? Anybody?
I mean,
I'd give him a 10, but that's just because I love everyone.
Of course you would, Danielle. Yes.
The Sofa score has him at a 6.9, so rounded up to 7 is fine. He didn't have enough to do to get higher, which is not even his fault.
Yeah. Steve says Pope didn't have much to do because he swept up the through balls before they developed into chances. Indeed. A couple of times I think Dubravka would have had a save to make. Yeah, there was a couple of times I pointed out, when I saw Nick Pope coming out, that maybe Dubravka, being a different style of goalkeeper, would have stayed back and wouldn't have took that risk. But
He got the ball out quick though, didn't he?
yeah,
Like,
that's what I
love
liked.
that.
If he saw a player in space, his distribution, like Billy says, was brilliant. Alex, Kieran Trippier.
Oh, that's a hard one. That is a very tricky one because we don't do halves in this channel.
We'll go all in normally.
I'm gonna give him a 7. I mean,
Okay.
I think he was better than a 7, but it's not enough for an 8 because there's no, he made a few mistakes. But overall, he's very important to the way we play. Again, 101 touches I mentioned, 4 interceptions, 1 tackle. He's just so important, and he kept the ball ticking along. I mean, to be fair, he got 4 crosses, 4 long balls, 2 key passes. That's a lot of service, to be fair. He's just so important to the way we play. He wore the armband, and he wore it well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a 7 is harsh, but I feel like he needed.
No, I'd agree with a 7. I think he.
So,
yeah. Mawson, thank you very much for your 50 Saudi Arabian Real, matey. Very, very kind. It's a super sticker, so there's no comment on there, but thank you for your generosity. I'm not sure what to make of this. I certainly haven't seen anything to go off that. I haven't seen nothing. So
professional, the profile picture just says Ransfer.
Yes, indeed. But who knows? Don't forget that when we play better teams, we won't be playing 11 in defence. Exactly. And I think we can unlock a few teams because of that. Foxy says, love Trippier, but he was the worst player yesterday. The amount of times he gave possession away, 6.5 out of 10. Well, we don't give points, half points. A lot of people saying Connie Cody to Everton. I don't even know who Connie Cody is, so you can just forget those comments.
Just doesn't exist to you anymore, does he?
No. Danielle, left back.
Well, let me think. Matty Target. For me, I would give him a 9 out of 10.
Okay, and why would you go with a 9?
I mean, really, I want to give him a 10 because obviously, I love every single one of them to the max yesterday. But yeah, I thought he had a good game. I think he was consistent throughout. I thought he linked up really well with the midfield. Yeah, not much more I can say about Matty Target. He's just solid every game, isn't he?
Yeah.
So yeah.
I would have given him an 8. I have to say, but
I'm not bothered. It's my rating. 9.
Yes, it is. And God
I think
forbid
as
I
Max he's
disagree.
progressing defensively and positionally.
I like the way those two
Target's
linked up. I have
job.
to say,
Yeah, it's going to make Target's life a little easier as it progresses. It looked better yesterday. Target didn't look quite as panicked to have to, clean everything up.
Absolutely.
It was nice.
Yeah. Cesare says, breaking news. Newsreader reports on deleted rumor. Cesare, I don't know that's been pretty deleted. I just put it up on the screen for just to say that it was bollocks, basically. But thank you for your little witty comment. Go and wrangle some sharks. Honestly, my mods, lovely people. Right. It's my turn. I'm going to go with Dan Burn, and I'm giving Dan Burn a 9. I thought he was very, very good yesterday. Can't really fault him for anything. I thought he controlled everything. When it looked as if he was going to be beaten for pace, we were very wrong. He was very accomplished, won the ball back, and then brought it out of defense very well. So for me, Dan Burn gets a 9. Don't know whether you guys want to disagree with me on that.
I think that's a bit high. I think that's too high.
Oh, Alex, come on.
Well, you've got to leave us. So
a little bit of room. Yeah, a little bit of room.
You've got a bit of room because if Dan
Not for
Burn
me.
turns up next week and scores 2 headers,
Then he gets 11.
Yeah, but
we've got to leave
Alex,
ourselves some wiggle room.
He played really well and deserves a 9. These guys
is really well a 9 though. 9 is if 10 is the best you can ever play in your life.
He played better than well. He was brilliant yesterday. The two
offensive corners, he kept heading it to no one. There were a few things he could have improved on. I don't know.
Well,
I feel
like
9.
Danielle says, Alex, it's my rating.
Yeah.
Yeah, you give him a 9. That's fine.
I'm giving him a 9.
Get in there.
Billy, Fabian Scher.
Well, I was going to give him a 9 myself, but
You got to give him a 10.
with that goal on top, I have to give him a 10, don't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Fabian Scher was absolutely superb yesterday, and there's no reason not to give him a 10.
The block from the Johnson chance was absolutely superb.
Yeah.
Then that goal on top You know, it's another mark on top of that. So 10 for me.
Anybody else want to? Alex, Mr. Meldrew on the bottom there. Would you like to?
Leave me alone.
I mean, I'd have given Burn like an 8 and then Cher a 9. To be fair.
Okay, that's fair.
I had nowhere to go, Alex. I had to go one higher.
Yeah, no, I know, I get it. But,
Oh,
you know,
don't be
Cher-
blaming. See, Billy's kind of putting that off on me, blaming me.
Cher
Absolutely
did get
not
robbed
having
by
it.
the new,
not having
the
it.
new guy.
I tell
who
you though,
came
it's a
on.
good argument to have, though, isn't it? Considering where we were last
Oh,
season.
yeah,
So I'm
eight
not
to
mad at
Fours
it.
and threes and fours and twos. Yeah, it
Yeah,
does
yeah.
make a difference, doesn't it? Really,
But Cher
it's a
did
bit
get
different.
robbed. That
Yeah.
9 robbed him in a very dangerous area. That could have been a goal. That was a very dangerous. Yeah, he went to sleep in a bad area there. So there were a few reasons why
Alex,
I can't give him 10 out
It
of 10.
didn't happen.
But you can't give somebody any lower than a 9 when it's a centre back who hits nearly a 30-yard screamer. And he did his defensive duties pretty well on top of that. So he's just got to have a 9.
He went to war for us again, you know. So, Jeanette, thank you very much for your £5 super chat. Hi, everyone. Hope to meet Danielle while I'm there for the Man City game. Such a lovely woman. Is Stato's birthday the 6th of October, the same as mine?
It is when Matty Longstaff scored, so we beat Man United. It was on that day.
There you go.
And it was Beckham's free kick against Greece as well. Good things happen on my birthday.
Okey-doke. Right, we'll move into the midfield. Alex, Joe
No.
Willock.
For fuck's sake.
Beep.
you couldn't start the other side, could you? Yeah,
Sorry, mate.
and then you... Oh,
I knew
God.
that was coming.
I knew it.
Mhm.
All right.
Listen, it's a backhanded compliment, mate, because I think you were the best one to actually rate Willock.
All right. I'll do my best. So,
Because Danielle will just give him a 10.
So what? So what if I would?
so
Yeah,
Alan
by
Shearer
the way,
gave him, said he was really
Ian,
good. Oh.
Ian Fleming, thanks for your £10 super chat, matey. Great result. I would give them all 10 out of 10.
Yes, Ian, on the same
That's
page.
living in Danielle's world.
Mhm.
Go on, Alex.
So this is a tricky one because I disagree with a lot of people here. Everybody, Alan Shearer, a few other channels have all said that Willock was brilliant. I don't think he was brilliant. I think he did what he normally does offensively, which is great. I love that he can do that. I love that he can drive with the ball. He's got a good shot on him and he can fight. He can pick a pass. I love that. But this is typically what he normally does. And I wasn't happy with his fitness sort of after an hour, and he was leaving big holes and he wasn't tracking back. And if people could go at Maxi so hard for similar things, you've got to be fair and do it for everyone. It's got to be fair. So I'd give him a 7 because I thought his attacking play was very, very good, and he was unlucky not to get a goal or assist. He was quite dangerous many times in that game. He was very good, but he can't keep going to sleep defensively because there are let's be honest, there are possibly 17, 18 better teams than that in the league.
Yeah.
And that'll catch us out. And there's a reason why Longstaff came on at 80 minutes because Eddie and the coaching staff thought exactly similar. That they needed just a little bit more stability in midfield.
Yeah.
And that's why the substitution was made. So I can't give him any higher than a 7, but there was good and there was bad.
No, well, literally everybody in the comments is agreeing with a 7. So everyone's giving Willock a 7. Danielle, Bruno.
10.
Is that it?
Well, I mean, I don't know what there is to say really about Bruno. I mean, he's the king, isn't he? Like, that's what he is. He's the king of midfield. He runs the show. Like, him and Joe have got this lovely relationship where they bounce off each other. Like, that, your Joe is not the same player without Bruno. And I just think he's just everything. I mean, I'm still amazed. Like, I mean, thank God we've got a transfer committee and Merdad and great owners who convinced this man to come here.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
Seriously, like, we could have lost a diamond in Bruno. So I mean, 10 for me. I mean, don't know where else he could go.
11. He was absolutely
11.
outstanding.
Yeah. I'm not allowed 11 though. I've tried that before.
You have. Fair enough, guys. We're 9 away. 9 away from 13k. Please, guys, subscribe if you haven't already. Be part of this fantastic family of ours. Wonderful subscribers. Please hit that subscribe button. Right, I'll move to Joe Linton. 10. undoubtedly. I thought he was absolutely brilliant yesterday. Absolutely brilliant. And given how I was talking about Joe Linton this time last year, right? I've been made to eat humble pie, egg on me face, the whole damn shebang, and I couldn't be more delighted about it because I have gone from criticizing this man to Joe Linton being my favorite player. And I genuinely mean that. He is my favorite player right now. Yes, Bruno is brilliant. No doubt about it. I love Bruno. But from where Joe Linton's come from, that is why this guy has so much of my admiration now, because he is just incredible. Simply from where he's been to now, and the work he's putting in, the determination to get it right and improve every day. He is now my favorite Newcastle player. And I do not mind saying that because I'm absolutely delighted for him. Alex, you said you got a few stats on Big Joe.
Yeah, I think it's worth pointing out the improvements in his offensive statistics, just because of how clean this is. He actually got 3 key passes, 2 out of 2 crosses, and 3 out of 3 long balls, and the shots he had as well. So that is so clean for offensive statistics. He didn't miss any of his crosses or long balls. 3 key passes. His passing accuracy for all of his general passes was at 91%, and he got the assist as well. He's just tidied up the offensive part of his game so much. Everything
he needs
is
to
so
finish
much
better,
tighter.
doesn't he? His finishing is the one thing that.
Yeah.
But then you say that, but then his finishing. You look at Norwich last season, brilliant goals. His header against Brentford. So it's just consistency with his finishing, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
More than he needs
4
to
out of 5
improve
dribbles as well, which was beaten only by Bruno. So
I mean, that situation where he dribbled past 3 or 4 Forest players and put the shot wide, if he'd scored from that, it was Maradona-esque. The actual
brilliant.
a bit like John Barnes against Brazil all them years ago.
Yeah, it was. That kind of run. It was. Mind you, the Forest defence parted like the Red Sea. I have to say, literally the Red Sea. I don't know what the hell they were doing. But Steve asked the question: Joe Linton and Bruno, whose 10 was a bigger 10? Heath says Joe.
This is why it's difficult giving 10s, because then we have to do this.
But the thing is, I'd go for Joe as well. I thought he was man of the match for me.
Yeah, he was my man of the match as well.
Joe Linton was man of the match.
Yeah,
mine,
100%.
Mine was Bruno. I've got to say.
Billy, you just want to sleep with him. That's why. So
I'll change then, and I'll go to Bruno. Yeah.
The reason I've got to say Joe Linton is because I've seen Bruno. It was one of the preseason games where Bruno played without Joe Linton in midfield, and he struggled a little bit.
They need each other. They're like fish and chips, beef and
exactly.
Well.
This is why I've got to go with Joe Linton, because I feel like Joe Linton can still be really good if Bruno's not there. Now I feel like he can still be imposing and do driving runs, but I feel like Bruno needs a bit of protection from a big man.
But I think those two are Newcastle's midfield for the foreseeable future. Without a doubt.
Absolutely.
That these two could be. Joe Linton has turned himself from an absolute welly into someone that could actually become another club legend if he continues this form. Because he's literally, somebody put in the comments before, he's now a midfield enforcer. He really is. And he's a big unit, and he's not frightened to use that size now. Whereas when he first came, he wasn't using his size to his advantage, and now it's completely turned around.
And the position he plays doesn't require him to be super young. Like, he could play that role at 28, 29, 30.
Yep.
So if he keeps himself fit, he could do that for another 5 years minimum.
But Billy, I do agree with you. Bruno is probably the best midfielder that we've seen in a long, long time in the middle of the park for Newcastle United.
I've never seen a better one. I'll be honest. I've never seen a better one.
No doubt about it. Right. Who are we up to now? We're up to Billy, and Billy gets let's see, Maxi.
I thought it was fantastic. I thought we saw an end product. I thought we saw passing. I thought we saw a control performance. He had Nico Williams on toast most of the time. Steady 9 out of 10 because he was superb.
Thank you, Billy. We're now 5 away. 5 away from 13K. Will we hit it before the end of the show? Guys, if you're new, hit that button. The little red button. It's free to do so and be part of this wonderful, wonderful family of ours. Alex, Miggy.
So I like this one. This is a funny one because a lot of people saying he's not good enough or because he missed a chance or whatever. I don't even care that he didn't score yesterday. He made 3 ball recoveries in the first 5 minutes. There's a reason we got over 62%, guys. It's because Miggy leads the press, and we win the ball back so often because he's just a beast. He's just so annoying. How often have we seen it? Him threatening the goalkeeper. He makes the goalkeepers nervous. He makes the centre backs nervous. He did it to Ramsdale. He's just done it to Henderson. He was doing it to Pope in the last day of the season against Burnley. He is a nightmare at the moment. His pressing is so much more improved. It's not just energy anymore. It is so concise, and it is so important for the way we play. He just needs to stop trying to be Juan Mata in his prime and use his right foot. He doesn't have to cut in every single time, because if he'd have been a little bit more confident in himself, he could have had a goal, really. Like, he deserved something, an assist or a goal. He was in the right position to get one. But he's just so important for the way we play. I understand people want to bring in a right winger who can score goals, but he's just an absolute monster for pressing.
Yeah,
he's the reason why we had so much of the ball.
Yeah. Thank you very much. And Danielle,
Well, Mark, you give him Mark.
I didn't even give him a mark.
All right, go on.
Like, if we're all giving, I'm going to have to give him a 9 if everybody's giving everybody else 9s and 10s. It's going to be a 9.
Alex, get on the
9 for Miggy.
positivity train.
Yes.
Danielle, Callum Wilson,
This is going to be a shocker, mind.
a 10?
10.
Wow.
But I was going to give him a 9, right? And I was going to give him an 8 for the first half and a 10 for the second half, and then just give him a 9. But then I thought, balls to it, I can't. So I'll give him a 10. But I think he's got a lot of pressure on his shoulders, has Callum. So I think that he sent his own message out to the club and the owners, and what he said that we need strengthening in that area. I hope they listen to him, because I feel like he's got a lot of pressure, and if something happens, then we've only got a lamppost to rely on, which I don't.
And he wants to go to the World Cup. Good
He
man.
does.
Yes.
Yeah, he's clear
Good
that.
man.
Yeah.
Everybody mocked
Yeah.
Maxi for the Ballon d'Or stuff. Now we need winners. We need people who want to win.
Yes.
No,
Good.
but
It's
listen,
important.
I think
Yeah.
wanting to be part of the World Cup squad is very different to Ballon
Yeah,
d'Or.
but it's still
an aim.
still-
It's an
yeah.
aim. Yes, you're right.
It's improving and getting selected for
It's the
things. It's
mentality
the
of
winner's
the winner.
mentality.
Absolutely. We're 4 away, guys. 4 subscribers
Oh my
from hitting
Jesus.
13,000, which just would be incredible.
Can I just add on to the Callum Wilson thing as well? You mentioned earlier about I think it was somebody in the comments put, it was the guy on TalkSport. It was Tony. I forgot his last name.
Cascarino
That's the one.
says he's the second best striker in England behind Kane.
Yeah, so I went and checked the stats for this. He's
I
got
thought
a
you
better
might.
goals per 90 than Tammy Abraham,
you.
better goals per 90 than Ollie Watkins. Basically, everybody that in the comments that was putting their preferred option, I went and checked. I wasn't confident in this, but upon checking it, he was better than every name that came out for goals per 90. I was quite surprised. So when he's fit, he is one of the most clinical strikers in the country. It's not even like you can't debate me on that, because it's literally logged. You can see how often he scores when he plays. It is right up there. He's very, very
Without a
clinical.
doubt. Gareth needs to wake up, smell the coffee, and have a look at him. I'm pretty sure he's in his thoughts anyway. I think but we'll see. We'll see. Right, substitutes now. The ones that came on right at the end, it's pointless even going for that, because I'm, Botman. Who else came on the last couple of minutes?
Botman got 7.34 on BBC.
Yes, I know. I was staggered. He was on a minute. Who else came on late on?
They got 10 minutes from Longstaff and Fraser, and Murphy came on
very
slightly later than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course Chris Wood, but he came on late as well. So
He was awful.
he didn't do. Yeah, well,
He took the ball once,
he
lost
wouldn't
it,
get
and
a point
fouled
from
the
me.
player.
No.
Mhm.
Sorry,
He lost
Billy.
the ball and fouled.
He got the ball once, he lost it, and then fouled the player that took it off him.
He did.
That was his
Yeah.
whole contribution to the game.
He went
And pretended to
absolutely
press as well.
walkabout. Yeah, he did. So listen, we'll give 6s to Longstaff for 10 minutes and 6 to Fraser, or 5 really, because he couldn't outrun Colback.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth there. I'm sorry, but Fraser, he's a winger. You can't beat Colback. I don't know if I want you in my 25.
Yeah, but do
Yeah.
you
Ooh,
think
that's harsh.
He couldn't complete more than 70 minutes last season. He was
That
blowing
really-
out of his
that really
arse
got
every
under your
game.
skin, didn't it? That he could just didn't
does,
beat him.
because of his work rate. I appreciate his work rate was incredible, and I respect that. And he got some contributions for the team, but he was a waste of a substitute every game because he couldn't complete more than 70 minutes. And then the fact that he showed today, because he made a few nice with the ball. He was making some driving runs in pre-season, but oh dear Lord, if he can't beat Colback, then please subscribe.
One subscriber
Maybe
away,
friends
guys.
will get some more pace. You
We're
can come
one
at
away.
me.
We're one
Fraser
away.
can't beat Colback.
Alex is ranting on. I don't care. We are one away from 13k. You know, Alex, you're right. You can't beat Longstaff in a chase for the Colback in a chase for the ball.
Who's slower than Colback in the Premier League? If you can't beat him, he's not going to beat many, is he?
You with that one. Yeah, 100% agree. No doubt about it. Absolutely diabolical. Some people are saying Longstaff didn't do very well when he came on.
Yeah, he was rusty. Yeah.
Exactly. I think that, you know, it is what it is. But look, it worries me. Do you think, does it worry you at all that you think, is Eddie Howe, Danielle, this interesting question, is he leaving the substitutions longer than maybe he should because he's not 100% confident in who he's bringing on to maintain that standard of football?
Nah, not for me.
No?
I don't think, nah. I think that's like, I mean, I don't think he has low confidence in anyone he has in his team. I mean, from an Eddie Howe perspective, no, I don't think so. I think he felt that the team was performing very well and he felt like he didn't need to make any substitutes until the time that he did, and he felt comfortable to do so at that time. I don't think it's anything to do with him not having confidence in them. However, I mean, he might with Chris Wood. I mean, you know,
yeah.
If he's
Alex,
confident enough to bring Wood on, then
Alex, what do you know about Relda Thomas?
I mean, he was linked and then not linked. I thought that was in the bin as a transfer. No,
Apparently he's signed. According to Spanish press, he's about to sign.
I don't believe anything the Spanish press say until Newcastle announce it, to be fair.
On a minute.
Just a rumour.
By the way, we've gone from 12,999 subs. We are now on 13,012.
Get in there. 13k.
Wow, that is incredible. Thank you so much, everybody. Honestly,
thank you.
It's mint that we keep hitting these 1,000 markers when we're live. It is just brilliant. Guys, you know, it's you guys out there who are doing this. So, you know, we bring the content to you, but you guys keep coming back and keep supporting us. And it is fantastic. And, you know, guys, you are the best subscribers any channel could ask for. I've said that a million times. I don't just say it because it's words. I say it because I mean it. We all mean it. We think you're brilliant. You always take part in the live shows. You interact with us all the time. We like to think that we interact with you as well and make you feel part of this channel, not just somebody who watches and puts the odd comment in. We like you to feel part of the channel, and that's exactly what we want to continue to do and continue to go for. So thank you so much from everybody at the Toon Review. You are absolutely unbelievable subscribers, and we love you all. So thank you so much.
Okay, in less than a month.
Yeah. Just unbelievable. And it's you guys out there. I can't say anymore. Yeah, I've seen that one about Lee Charnley.
Flipping heck, times must be hard.
Yeah, he may be going to Nottingham Forest.
What,
Jesus.
I know what that is. Trying to slow down the transfers.
Yeah. My God, we're spending too much money. Who do we bring in? Let's ring Danger Mouse and get his mate Penfold in.
It'll take him 6 years to make a transfer. That'll do the job.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. God, I feel sorry for the Forest fans. I really do. I really do. Anyway, we've got one more, and that is, of course, Edward Howe. We have to rate the manager, but we all have to come to an agreement on this one. So, Danielle, you may go first.
10.
Well, as a surprise. Alex?
10. It's got to be 10. He held his nerve and didn't start Botman or any. He doesn't care what we say. He does what he thinks is the best thing, and him and the coaching staff. He got the game plan right. He was aware of.
Yeah, he thinks of the club first, doesn't he? Before anything else.
Yeah, I mean, some managers.
By the way, can I just bring you some more transfer news? This was Arnautovic is linked with Manchester United.
Yeah, he rejected it.
Yeah, I think they've gone in again.
Oh, again.
Arnautovic. I mean, come on. I mean, Jesus Christ. Man United are scraping the shit barrel now. He's done for me.
But John Walters will be next.
John Walters come out of retirement. Yeah.
David Santon.
Yeah. David Santon, you know, get in there. Yeah. Yano, thank you for that comment. The Toon Review, the place where every fan has a voice. Congratulations on 13K, Paul, Susan, and the gang. Thank you very much.
Cheers, Yano.
We do. That's what we do. We try and give every fan a voice, give every fan an opinion. And
even if you agree or you disagree with us, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It's what it's all about, so that's what we try and do. Eddie Howe for me is also a 10. Exactly what Alex said. He didn't bow down to pressure to put Botman in. He also didn't start the captain, which he was injured in the warm.
Well, apparently he had a tight thigh.
Yeah.
Into the fetlock, apparently.
And he wasn't on the team sheet before the warm-up, so I don't know, is it?
Billy, I'm disappointed that just went over their heads there. Would you like to explain what you meant by that?
A fetlock is part of a horse's foot.
Yes.
Oh.
Or donkeys. Or an ass.
So there you go. Anyway, Billy Edward Howe?
Yeah, I agree with the 10 out of 10s. I mean, this style of football that we're playing, the high press, has all coming on the back of him. We're playing it to perfection at times, and he's brought the right players in to do that. And it's the style of football we're watching now. It's something we haven't seen for a long, long time. It's really entertaining stuff. Tactically, it's superb. The style is fantastic. Can't give it anything less than a 10.
Wow. So there you go. Finally, the three of us agreed with Danielle and gone with a 10.
Now and again.
Things do change. It's incredible. So there you go. That is it for the match review. Now then. Tell you what, we're going to give a couple of mugs away tonight to celebrate the 13K. Why not? Let me go to my little spin and wheel of glory. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give it to a couple of people in the comments. I'm just going to just swoosh my finger down the mouse and it'll go right up the comments again. And when it stops on a name, that is who wins. It's simple as that. Or the two of them. Seattle Geordie, thank you very much. This is for the 13K. Congratulations. Great channel, great team and subscribers. I heard Charlie's going to Forest. In my opinion, he can't see the wood for the trees. Again, great job. Thank you. And Stotty55, for about 49. Thank you very much, buddy. Well done, Paul and the gang, for over 1,100. Yeah, thank you very much. Right. So, a couple of mugs to give away. Here we go. I'm just gonna look away, spin the mouse, and wherever it stops. It nearly stopped on a love chat site there. That was it to explain it to. Yes. Hello. You've won a mug. The first winner is Paul Spragg. Paul Spragg, thank you very much. You are the winner of a mug. Now, what you need to do is you need to basically email me with your address, and we will get a mug sent off to you, matey. You can do it. The email address is right at the bottom of the description of this video, or you can contact me on socials, on the Facebook site, Instagram, on the Toon Review site on there, or, of course, Twitter. You can private message me on there. But get your address to me, mate, and we'll get a mug off to you. Right, second winner. Here we go. Swoosh. Did you like me sound effects there? Swoosh.
Very impressive.
Indeed. Dan Kane over in America. Well done, mate. You are the next winner. Thank you very, very much for your continued support, Dan, because you do a lot for the channel backstage. So thank you very much. Pleased it landed on you.
He's had a Sinclair with this comment.
Yes.
5 subs rule doesn't make Fraser run any faster, I'm afraid.
Don't. He's just won a mug. Shut up.
He's won a mug. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Honestly, have you had meat again today? Was it cooked?
I'm panicking because I can't find any Raul de Tomas stuff.
Oh, okay.
Are we doing a man of the day or woman of the day like we did last season?
Yes, special award will be. Just take your time, Bill. Just shush. Dan, send us your address, matey, and we'll get you that mug sent out as well. Tomorrow night on the transfer show, there is another giveaway for Newcastle United third kit. So make sure you remember for that one, because that is a members draw. All the members will be in that, and you've got a chance to win the Newcastle United third kit. I think it's an XL this size. So Again, if it's too small or it doesn't fit you, whatever, you can give it to Alex, or you can, stick it on your wall and keep it for some memorabilia. Chi, thank you for another $5 Singapore dollars. This calls for celebration to the Toon Review. Well done, Paul, Danielle, Alex, and Billy. Keep up the good work. And of course, the mod squad backstage, who are absolutely fantabuloso. Because without them, the channel would be lost, and we love them all. Right. Now, who is Danielle's special award going through this week?
My special award is not going to a player or a member of the staff, but somebody who really touched my heart yesterday, and that's John Joe.
Yeah, well done.
I absolutely loved him. I thought you would.
Those that don't know John Joe, he does have a very severe disability and is in a wheelchair. But he has just got just an incredible attitude for life and football. He's severely disabled, but it doesn't get him down. He's just a wonderful person, an inspiring person to be around. Couldn't be happier, Danielle. In fact, I'm going for John Joe as well, simply because he got me the program from the final, and he loves a bit of banter, and he took the absolute hell out of me yesterday. So well done to him. He's my special person of the week as well. So well done, John Joe. You've got that from me and Danielle, matey. Alex.
Well, is this the general person award, or am I doing stat award?
No. Just a general person you want to give your special award to this week.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Just put me on the spot a little bit. I mean, it's not quite exactly the same thing, but I did see a few medics having a few issues behind me in the east stand, and nobody really knew what was going on, and nobody got any announcements. So I'm going to give it to them because they were straight up there. I don't know what happened, or if everything was fine. I'm not sure. But
we could see it from
hopefully
the
it was.
end.
It was right behind me. So fingers crossed everything was okay. But got to put it to the medical team because they're always very, very quick and on point with it.
Yeah. Tom makes a point as well. John Joe was ripping the pee out of John Sinclair as well for being a Man United fan. It was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. So there you go. Right. Thank you, Alex. Billy, any special award from you this week?
Yeah, talking to John Sinclair, getting his £100 out and put it in the food bank, so John Sinclair gets my
man of
the day.
Yeah, Danielle, you know exactly what I'm going to say here.
Yes,
it was really funny. It was so funny because he asked someone to film it for him because he wanted to put it on his vlog and make sure that everybody saw him put the £100 in the food bank, which was brilliant.
Fair enough.
Which was brilliant. Okay, and he put the money in, and as soon as he put it in, he turned back to the camera and he says, "If you like what you've seen, please like and subscribe." It was unbelievable. And I'm looking at him thinking, I can't believe you've had the
gall. We just walked away at that point, didn't we?
We just turned away and walked away, and he's wondering where everybody's gone. We were
Can I change the mind? Can I change the mind?
Oh, I couldn't believe it because he said that, and everyone at the same time just went, "Oh, for God's sake, John, what are you doing, man? You don't say that when you." He just literally put the £100 down, and he turned to the camera and says, "If you like what you see." I was like, so we just all walked away. Seriously, I couldn't take it. I just had to walk away.
The next step from that is stopping individuals in the street and asking them to subscribe, isn't it?
Oh God, honestly, it was mental. It was so funny though, and well done to John for following through with his promise to give £100. It was very, very generous. Tampa Toon, thank you very, very much for your $10 for hitting 13K. Thank you so much, matey. I actually found out who Tampa Toon is, and actually got his name eventually. So thank you very much. Where's it going to go? Oh, there it is. I think this is Tampa Toon. I don't want to. Yes, it is. It's Brett. His name is Brett. So thank you, Brett, for that. That is very kind. And Brett is actually, how he was on the other night complaining about the size of his shirt. He has actually said he's going to send that shirt that is too small to me to give away on the channel. So again, fantastic gesture from Brett over at Tampa Toon. So thank you very much. Mason says, "I love being a co-host on Sinclair's channel. What a guy!"
It's never boring.
It's never boring. That is absolutely right. It is never boring. It is he's some guy. He is. But he has no shame. It's fair to say.
Just says he has no filter, does he? It just comes out.
Alan sums it up there. Shameless plug. That's exactly what it was. But it was the fact that there was about 9 of us, I think, around him when he did that.
Clapping him and all that, weren't we?
As soon as he said that, all of us just turned and walked away. It was like it just disappeared, and he's looking over, thinking, "What have I done?" And then, of course, we gave him some jip about it, but it was a good laugh.
He just chased Rico, and he was chasing him from behind Rico, and then I'll delete it. I'll delete it.
I don't know how though. I don't know how to do it. I just don't know how to delete. It was class, so funny. But there you go. Right. That is it, guys. You've got about an hour left if you want to order anything on the website. Susan will probably put the order in about 10:30 tonight. So do try and make sure that if you want anything, as I said, the supplier is away on holiday for a couple of days next week. So just get your orders in just so that when she comes back, she can get them all sent out and everything like that. So thank you very much. Listen, guys, absolutely, man. Just incredible. The amount of subscribers and viewers we've got tonight just on the one show is unbelievable. Thank you so much. You really do mean the world to us. It's fair enough for sitting behind the camera like this and bringing out the content. But, without you guys, we wouldn't have anything. So we love the way you interact with us. We hope that you like the same back from us because I do try and put as many comments on the screen as I can. I do like to sort of read as many as I can. I don't get through them all simply because it's impossible. But we value you just as much as you value us for bringing you the content, and without you guys, we're nothing. So thank you so much to each and every one of you, subscribed or not. Just thank you for watching the channel. Thank you for your continued support. You are absolutely amazing, and I really do mean that from all of us. Basically, you are incredible, and we just value you so much. Thank you three for joining me tonight. We will have a transfer show at 8 p.m. tomorrow. Now, who is going to be on that? We have a couple of names, but that may change within the next 24 hours.
It definitely will, I'm sure of it.
Yeah. So we may have different names by the time the show starts to what's on the bloody thumbnail, but that tends to happen with Newcastle United at the moment. Tuesday night, of course, we will be bringing you once again the fan forum. We might... Well, sorry, I'm in London Wednesday, unless Billy does the fantasy football show.
No, I'm going to have a night off. I'm going to have a night off Wednesday, sod it. If we could have one, we'll have one. I ain't had one for ages.
Yeah.
There you go. We're not doing anything Wednesday night, guys. Billy has spoken. He's having a night off. So there you go. Absolutely. Well deserved as well, I have to say. So Thursday night will be obviously the preview for the Brighton game. TTR Friday. We will try and fit the fantasy show in somewhere, even if it's just a recorded one. Me and Billy may sit and record one. Just going through the league and stuff like that, and then putting that out as a recording, and then do the live the next week after that. It's just fitting it in, guys. So obviously we wanted to do this tonight, and with it being nice weather, we didn't want to do one too early because everyone's out and about. But there you go. We will do as much as we can for you on the channel, as much as we can possibly fit in. But thank you for watching, guys, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. Thank you again from the bottom of our hearts, and we will see you for the transfer show 8 p.m. tomorrow. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
We're the lads and lasses.